Hello my friends, I'm Rich Larson and I'm the IRC Tire Guy. Today I want to talk about a realization, technique, and practice that has truly improved my overall control and balance in technical situations by tenfold. Now, in the last few years, I've worked heavily on my trials riding. It's a great cross trainer and an easy way to get a quick session in when you have a short amount of time. While riding and competing in trials, I noticed when I'd make a mistake, it usually happened in the same way. These repeated mistakes open the door to a new obsession on a specific control that transcends the style of riding that you do. This obsession is on proper peg weight, and that's what I want to dive into today. What I want to do is break down the specifics on this newfound understanding, as well as the mistakes that you might be making, so you can then make that course correction. Starting with an important understanding I call head over foot balance. This can be best displayed while practicing static balance, although this might be one of the most important pieces to finding your balance when it matters in those technical situations. Something I've implemented into my balance is an attempt to make my position on the motorcycle as natural as possible. What I mean by this is implementing natural human mechanics to create that efficiency. Human beings naturally center their head over the foot that is bearing the majority of their weight. This happens when standing still, when walking, or running. You can see this when watching a world-class sprinter run, or if you're standing in line at a grocery store. Notice how the majority of people lock their knee, then center their head over the foot that is bearing the majority of their weight. Simply put, by applying this natural position to your pegs, this creates a significantly higher level of balance and control in all situations. Now, there are some specifics here that are extremely important. First, understanding this has everything to do with your own body position in relation to what your machine is doing. So, to simplify, the further the bike leans in one direction or the other, the more weight is required in the opposite direction for balance and correction. The mix of the lean angle of your bike and the off-center head over foot position with your body creates a wider overall balance zone. This is also outside peg weight. Outside peg weight is a phrase we've heard over and over again in our industry. This transcends the specific discipline that you ride, whether it's trials, motocross, or trail riding. Outside peg weight creates a wider zone of balance, no matter the speed. This head over foot control should be implemented every time in relation to the direction the bike is going. So if the front tire is turned to the left, we have the right foot bearing the majority of our weight. Our head is centered over that foot, and our bike is leaning in the direction we are turning. And of course, vice versa when turning in the other direction. The further the bike leans, the more pressure is required on the opposing peg. Now, why does this matter? Again, I noticed I'd make the same mistakes over and over when I'd ride trials. When I teach clinics, during the slow technical control drills, cone weaves, or full lock turns, I'd see the same mistakes from the students. Whenever you are turning in one direction or the other, in any situation, if you fall to the inside of that turn and dab or put your foot down, this means you were improperly weighting the pegs. You're too far to the inside with your body position in relation to how much your bike is leaning. As I said, the further the bike leans in one direction or the other, the more your body needs to weight the opposing direction via the peg. Truly, think of all the times this understanding can be implemented. Slow technical riding to higher speed riding. If you dab your foot to the inside, you should immediately realize increasing the outside peg pressure on the next run will help. So I want you to notice here, I still make the inside peg pressure mistake, but the value in understanding why I put my foot down and how to make that correction is priceless. As an example, let me show you these runs through a technical line. Now, notice as I kick my rear tire to the left, I land in static balance with my front tire turned to the left. This means I need pressure on the right peg on landing. On the first run, I pressure my left peg when landing. The front tire is turned to the left, so this is inside peg pressure, significantly lowering my overall balance zone until failure. On that run, you can even hear me say, that was inside peg weight. You then see on my next run an adjustment to outside peg weight and a clean through the section. Now, there are some nuances within peg pressure. Remember, it's never black and white. So when do we use inside peg pressure? Well, we actually use inside peg pressure to initiate outside peg pressure. Going back to natural human mechanics, you can feel this standing on flat ground. Slowly sway back and forth from head over right foot to head over left foot, then back again. You'll notice to initiate the movement from one direction or the other, you need to press off of the opposing foot. So to make the transition from outside peg to outside peg from one side to the other, this initiation of the bike's lean angle has to be created with the inside foot. This can be perfectly practiced during a cone weave. Even when I make the mistake of inside peg pressure, there's still a chance to push through that inside peg and get the body and head back over the outside peg for correction and a regaining of your control. The reason I'm going so in depth here is the awareness of every time you dab or put your foot down to the inside of the direction that you are turning, no matter the discipline. This can be tied to too much inside peg weight. This opens the door to a specific awareness, practice, and correction you can make in so many situations. If you feel your head and body fall into the direction that the front tire is turned, try to press through that inside peg and make a correction to move in the opposite direction. I hope this resonates with you, and as you continue pursuing progression, you're able to implement it. I hope you're enjoying the channel, and get signed up for one of my clinics around the US at richlarson511.com. Follow us on Instagram at IRC Moto, my personal Instagram page at richlarson511, and until next time, keep shredding.